chops.
No, that's not.
chops.
That's what I thought, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to relate to this show because I don't even like pork chops or mutton chops."
Yeah, how are they going to make a whole show out of cooking pork chops?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they pull it off.
Wow, every week.
Well, you get mystery ingredients,
Uh-huh.
and then you have to use all the ingredients, and sometimes it's like gummy bears in an appetizer. How am I supposed to do this?
Yeah.
And then the judges, they all taste all the dishes,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 4 contestants, teams, if you will, even though they're teams, armies of one.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, good, Tim. I'm glad to hear you finally supporting the troops.
and every round,
Uh-huh.
the judges pick the worst dish, and then they chop the person's
man's
hands
off.
off. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he must never cook again.
Good.
Or she.
Yeah. They let women on this show?
They do.
Wow. Huh.
So
Very
Cutthroat
progressive
Kitchen
network.
is like that,
Except for the hand chopping off.
except they have to make the same thing. Everybody. And
They have to make Cutthroat Kitchen. They do.
Right.
Chop. They don't.
Or it'll be like, make me a breakfast sandwich, and then they get to go in a small pantry.
On
and get all
Chopped, they give them the mystery ingredients. Then they get to go get other ingredients.
Yeah,
right?
there's a
Okay.
fully stocked pantry there, Tom.
Yeah.
Although, this is the bullshit that if anybody from the Food Network is listening here, can we do something? Can we get them more than one ice cream maker? Just 2 ice cream makers.
No, that adds. Actually, that's like one of the things I remember about the show is because that adds a lot of drama. Just having that one ice cream.
No, because
maker.
there's a dessert round, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody plans to make ice cream, and then somebody
you gotta
else
get there first.
runs to the ice cream. No, it's a cooking competition. It's about creativity and being good at your craft, not running and claiming and dumping something in the ice cream maker before somebody else gets there.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I've seen a few episodes where they've just served like melted ice cream. Because an ice cream maker, because what do you have, a half hour?
Yeah, but Tom, what if they just say like, hey, guess what? There's only one set of knives.
Yeah.
So like, there's only one knife. So like, whoever gets the knife, whoever runs to the knife and gets it. Oh, there's only one stovetop. So guess what? Everybody else has to serve everything raw. That's not a good viewing experience. Why are we singling out this one piece of equipment that's necessary for many of the things and being like, we'll make them fight over it?
Well, Tim, you just described perfectly my pitch for One Knife Kitchen. So keep an eye out for that next fall.
So Alton Brown, he has this shtick on Cutthroat Kitchen.
Now, what's this guy's deal? Was he even a cook or anything?
Yeah. And
I thought he was like just a TV host. Didn't he host something else?
Yeah, he hosted a bunch of food shows.
But didn't he host a non-food show? I think he hosted like a show about trucks one time or something.
I don't know. There's
I
a
might
lot
be
of guys
getting
on
delirious.
TV that like look like him. Like he looks like a cross between the 2 Mythbusters, or maybe he just looks like one of the Mythbusters.
No, he's like a cross between the Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Those
You know the Mythbusters hate each other?
Yeah, they hate each other with a passion.
That's great.
Because
like us.
Yeah. Because like they didn't work together before that show. That show put them together.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, I don't like this guy."
Yeah. Sure, he shares my passion for busting myths.
Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, I think that's like a really interesting idea for a show. But the show never really.
That's what our show is. 2
Yeah.
guys that don't like each other for an hour.
Well, their show, I guess they do focus on the conflicts a lot. But you think like, oh, but at the end of the day, they're pals. It's like, no, at the end of the day, this is them being polite to each other.
They don't focus too much. I don't know. I didn't really.
Well,
watch
they
much of
disagree
it.
sometimes when about ways to go, and they can get very passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's true. So Alton Brown, he like is all about like the science of food, but in a practical way. So like Cutthroat Kitchen, they all get a bunch of money and they can bid to sabotage the other players.
Does anybody ever take the money and just run out of the studio?
Yes.
Wow.
It happened like 5 or 6 times before they finally posted armed guards. Now there's a lot of deaths in the Cutthroat Kitchen when people try to run.
Yeah.
And apparently it's legal. They sign a waiver. Like, I will not run, and if I do, they can
kill me.
They can cut my throat right open. It's right there in the
right there in the title.
They have commandos with Bowie knives there that are gonna slit your
now
throat
I want to see
to...
this show.
Yeah. Well, good news, Tom. It's on the Food Network.
Yeah.
8 times a night, every night.
They're gonna run out of people at some point.
Yeah. So
he's about food science,
right? But he adopts this persona,
like,
and I only really know him from Cutthroat Kitchen, but where like he's like, I'm an evil genius, and I imagine
I don't like stuff like that.
And he's like, oh, listen up, chefs. Yeah. This one's gonna blah blah blah. This one's gonna blow your mind. And it's like just host the cooking show with some goddamn dignity, sir.
Yeah, come on.
He's smart. I've seen him be charming.
I've seen him do math in his head. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, I don't see why he needs to resort to this.
Stoop to characters. I don't like characters in any kind of reality-based show.
You love Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, he's not being a character, Tim. That's just Gordon being Gordon.
No, it's not, because you can see how he can turn it off on MasterChef Junior.
Well, that's just
he's like Barack Obama with these kids. They love him.
Well, maybe they have to do a lot of editing. Just somebody can be. Actually, I think that's more common.
Like he's that much of a sociopath that he can turn it off.
No, well, but I think that people who are like very mean tend to be very nice to kids. I think they like have more patience with kids and are nicer with kids.
Like who? Ichabod Crane. He was a good guy, right? Who am I thinking? Scrooge.
You're thinking of the Headless Horseman.
Scrooge.
Yeah. Look at Ebenezer Scrooge. He helped Timmy walk at the end.
At the end, he was being nice to everybody.
Yeah, but it was mostly...
And it was Tiny Tim, not Timmy.
Tiny Timmy. No, I'm like that. I have like no patience for anybody, but I got patience for kids.
No, you don't. You haven't interacted with anybody but me for the last 15 years.
Tim, I got a lot of patience for kids.
I don't know if you do, Tom.
I do.
8-year-olds telling knock-knock jokes.
Excuse me while I blow my nose, Tim. Now, if you were a kid, I would have them. I'd be like, here, you hold it. And then I go, honk, honk.
Would you?
Yeah, then that would be a funny...
yeah, I don't like talking to kids that much.
You don't like having them blow your nose, help you blow your nose for you?
What? I beg your pardon, sir? My least favorite guy on the Food Network, Bobby Flay.
Oh, I always forget about Bobby Flay. Yeah, fuck him.
He just looks like a real mean jerk.
He is a real mean jerk. He's had like super messy divorces.
Well, there you go. You know what he's the host of?
What?
3 Days to Open with Bobby Flay.
He was.
And Barbecue with Bobby Flay.
He did.
And Beat Bobby Flay.
Didn't he do?
And Bobby Flay's Barbecue Addiction. Mm-hmm. And Bobby's Dinner Battle, presumably starring Bobby Flay. And Boy Meets Grill. And Brunch at Bobby's, Christmas at Bobby's, Food Network star, Food Nation with Bobby Flay, Grill It with Bobby Flay, Grillin' and Chillin' with Bobby Flay, Hot Off the Grill with Bobby Flay, Throw Down with Bobby Flay, and Worst Cooks in America. This guy's one of the worst cooks in America.
Had to get all these
other cooking shows.
Man, he sounds like a busy beaver, huh?
Yeah.
And to be fair, Barbecue Addiction with Bobby Flay is a very heartbreaking show.
Yeah. God. Yeah. What
you see him relapse, and they're trying so hard.
His family goes through.
Yeah.
Break your heart.
Yeah. They refuse to get help.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shows, and a lot of those shows sounded like, why'd they give that show another like that? Why didn't they just make more episodes of Grill It? Why'd they have to do Grillin' and Chillin'?
Yeah. Exactly. Politics, probably.
Yeah. What's Bobby Flay's restaurant that he's famous for?
Like Bobby's Burger Joint or something?
Nah, there's something else, like an original one. I went to it, and it kind of sucked.
Well, this is the mistake you make, Tom.
Uh-huh.
You tend to go to restaurants based on television personalities and expect it to be fine dining.
Tim, Gordon Ramsay's restaurants are very nice restaurants. He has Michelin stars from the Michelin Man.
Well, the Michelin Man will eat anything. Look how fat he is.
That's true. Made out of tires.
The Mesa Grill?
Yeah, that's where I went.
In Las Vegas?
No, there was one in New York.
Gato? Bar
No.
American?
El Gato.
Bobby Flay Steak? Bobby's Burger Palace?
It might have been Bar American. I feel like it was called Mesa Grill, though. Maybe it's not in
Mesa
New York
Grill's
anymore.
only in L.A.
Maybe.
And Atlantis Paradise Island in Nassau, Bahamas.
I did not go to... Why is it called Atlantis?
Yeah. Atlanta, Bahamas.
I was like, why is there an Atlanta-themed restaurant in the Bahamas?
Hey.
Boy, I wish I were in the Bahamas right now, sipping on a drink.
Blowing your nose and pissing everybody off at the pool. Oh, please don't go in the... Oh, you're so full of mucus. Oh,
well, if I was
honey,
in
we're
the pool,
leaving.
Tim, I wouldn't even have... I could just... this guy yesterday came out...
Just go underwater and blow your nose into the...
Yeah. You've never done that?
What, are you kidding me?
You just... The chlorine eats all the boogers.
No.
Chlorine
Oh,
lives on
God
boogers.
Damn it. You're
Chlorine's
the worst
alive.
person.
Chlorine, bromine, they love boogers.
What were you saying about a guy
Oh,
outside?
there was just a guy in his underwear outside yesterday. It was so cold, and there was this man in his underwear, and he's blowing snot rockets.
Oh, people blowing snot rockets, the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, remember when Puck did that in the real world?
Oh.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, we barely even met the guy, and he's
Yeah,
already making
that's
such a
a
bad
horrible
impression.
first impression. Everybody else was wearing tuxedos for their big TV debut.
Yeah. He put his gross... At first, you're thinking, look, if my roommate put his fingers in the peanut butter,
Yeah.
how bad could that be?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. But then you see this gross mess of a man with his scabs.
Yeah, well, Tim, a lot of, being a bike messenger in San Francisco in the 90s, you're going to fall off your bike a lot.
Yeah.
Place used to be a lot hillier.
Wait, he used to be hillier?
Used to
They
be
flattened out?
Yeah, Tim, all the people there now, that place is flattened out.
Yeah, it's so heavy on the streets.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Tim.
Counterintuitive, but it makes sense.
It's not counterintuitive. It's intuitive.
Now, can you explain this show to me, Tom? Cooks versus cons.
Yeah.
So they get convicts.
No, it's not convicts. No, that would be great, because then it would be easy to tell who the convict was, because they'd have like
a teardrop tattoo.
teardrop tattoos, and yeah, they'd be real mean.
They'd be in shackles.
They'd be in shackles, an orange jumpsuit. Cooks versus
They'd be accompanied by an armed guard, a warden, making sure they didn't leave.
Cooks versus Cons is that the show has...
I've tried to watch this show 100 times.
you just can't wrap your head
I
around it?
can't, and I get bored before they reveal the premise. Or
No, they reveal the premise. The premise is like in the very beginning of the show. It's that one person is a
how
con.
many teams are there?
I
Tom?
believe there are 3 teams of one person each.
3 armies of one.
Yeah.
And one of these has been dishonorably discharged and sent to jail.
No, it's kind of like, well, which one should be dishonorably discharged? Because one of them is one of them is. It's kind of like that show. What was the name of that show? Not.
What's my line or something? Or Guess Who or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
God, people are. I recognize that usually people listen to this thing and are probably screaming themselves hoarse. Like, you idiots! How do you not? But like this week especially.
Yeah. Yeah, the name of the show should just change. So what the hell's that thing called?
Yeah, that was a thing that everybody knows, the obvious thing.
But it's like that, and they got
So there's 2 professional chefs.
2 professional chefs and one person that their job is not being a chef.
Right.
But they are very good at cooking.
Right, okay.
And they've all got to try and fool the judges.
Now, okay, this is where it gets confusing for me.
Well, it gets confusing because even us as the audience are not clued in as to who the con
Right.
is.
Now, let's take everything out of it. What... So, they cook a meal.
Yeah. I think it's... I think there's something to. I think it's like a little chopped too, where it's not just like, "Hey guys, cook whatever."
Right. But they cook a meal, right? Is there are several rounds?
There are several rounds.
So at the end of round one, 2 professional cooks, 1 fake cook,
Right.
all present their dishes.
There might be 4 teams. I think
Okay,
there's
whatever.
only 3. Okay.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Yeah. I think timing wise.
Yeah.